Hello YouTube people, in today's video I'm gonna show you how this pilot style watch from Steelflier looks like on these custom straps. This video is sponsored by AliExpress. AliExpress has provided me with a budget which I was free to spend on any watches that I wanted for my videos, and this is one of those watches that I bought. Thank you AliExpress. Specifications and measurements, which as always are done by me. This watch naked like this weighs 57 grams. Diameter of the case 39 millimeters. Lug to lug distance 48.4 millimeters. Thickness 12.4 millimeters. Lug width is 20. This watch has flat piece of sapphire crystal. It has 200 meters of water resistance rating together with a screw down crown and screw down case back. Inside it has this wonderful VH31 quartz movement with sweeping seconds hand, and the bracelet tapers down to 18 millimeters. It is solid end links, solid links. Links are connected with pins, and it has semi-solid clasp. This watch with this bracelet looks like this on my wrist. The size of my wrist is 16.5 centimeters or 6.5 inches. This watch is a little bit big for me. It's a little bit long. 48.4 millimeters lug to lug distance is, well, roughly at least 1 millimeter too long for me. You know, it does look a little bit large on my wrist, as you can see. And the bracelet, now the bracelet, to perfectly fit on my wrist, I had to remove this many links, and how many can I still remove? Let's check it out. So on this side of a bracelet, nope, that's it, all removable links are out. And on this side I could still remove one link, yeah, one link, and I'm sitting on next to the last hole on the clasp. So if you have a smaller wrist than I do, you can still remove one link and adjust on the clasp closer. And if you have bigger wrist, you have this many links extra to play with. Now, how does it look like? It's brushed. It's a brushed bracelet. Sides are polished out. Let me show you. Nothing fancy, nothing unusual. Now, fitment inside lugs is a little bit rough. There is no free play. The precision is good. I mean, it doesn't move around. But if you look at this edge next to the lugs, it's a little bit, I know, it's a little bit off, to be honest. A little bit, it looks, maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I'm not sure, but seems like it doesn't really match very well with the lugs. But at least, you know, there are no gaps and it doesn't move around. Sharpness, it's a little bit sharper than the average. It feels a little bit sharpish, to be honest with you. The clasp, the inside also, it's a little bit sharp. The shelf of the clasp, also edges, yeah, they are a little bit sharp. And the clasp itself, let me give you a good look how it looks like. So let's lock it in place. As you can see, the inside portion is solid piece of metal, but the shelf itself also feels like a solid piece of metal, even though it's the style of, you know, simple folded metal clasp, but it's thick piece of metal. Look at this thing. It's a thick piece of metal, and look how robust it is. Everything is like, it's very tight. It feels very well made, you know. Despite the sharpness, this thing feels chunky piece of thick metal. It doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. So the whole clasp thing feels very solid. It's like a piece of solid metal. So if you just finish off sharp edges and you get a wonderful clasp, which is, by the way, not thick either. It's plenty of micro adjustments. It's not thick. It locks in place very nicely, feels very precise. You know, this whole thing, let's not forget the price. 42 euros for a watch with a sweeping seconds hand, quartz movement, sapphire crystal, plenty of water resistance, solid links, solid end links, basically solid clasp. Yeah, for the money, can't really complain. Let me show you the case of this watch, and for me the main selling point was actually not just the price but also the design of the bezel. I think this bezel is very beautiful. It's not sharp, it's nicely finished and looks really good. There is a version of this watch available with a simple bezel, which according to the numbers of sales seems to be a little bit more popular, but I really like the design of this bezel and how it plays out together with this onion styled crown. Now speaking about the crown, it's a huge crown, but to accommodate this huge crown the watch also has to have some, well, let's say decent amount of thickness, you know. Even though it's just a quartz watch, it's still 12.4 millimeters, so I bet this watch has a rather thick sapphire crystal, and as you can see it has a rather thick case back profile, which, well, it has 200 meters of water resistance, which is, well, it's nice. It's nice. Extra big water resistance, extra good water resistance is very nice to have. Now extra thickness, I wouldn't sure about that, but with a crown as big as this, you know, this watch couldn't be any slimmer than that. You would have to use different kind of crown. On a crown as big as this one, the watch has to have certain amount of thickness to accommodate this crown. Now, how is the quality of finishing? Well, it's just a brushed case finishing, nothing really too fancy about this watch. All looks fine, militaristic, whatever, you know, it's fine. The sharpness on the case back, it's not sharp, it actually feels nice. Sharpness on these bottom edges, they actually feel alright. They actually feel alright, surprisingly, for the given price point. Now the lug ends, they are a little bit rounded up. They're a little bit rounded up, which, well, also doesn't feel too bad. They catch my finger a little bit, but I wouldn't call them extra sharp. They're actually fine. Now, just for fun, I want to do a little comparison side by side. This Adidas dive watch has exactly the same movement inside VH31. I just want to give you the size comparison next to each other. Keep in mind this Adidas dive also has very bubbly mineral crystal, as you can see. The size comparison. A beast and a beauty, you know, a beast and a beauty. Yeah, this Steelflier is quite a chunky thing, you know. This Adidas dive is 11.1 millimeter in thickness, and this Steelflier is 12.4. Now another interesting comparison, well, interesting at least for me, this watch from Seagull, it has domed sapphire crystal and it has automatic movement inside. Yet the thickness of this watch is just 10.9 millimeters. Yeah, I do find it rather interesting. You know, automatic watch with domed sapphire crystal is this slim. Now next to this, also just, you know, just for fun. I'm not making any point or whatever. I understand this, such is the design, this watch, but it's just interesting to compare how they look next to each other. Especially, you know, the same movement inside as well. Yeah, but you know, if it was any slimmer, it couldn't accommodate a crown this big, and the crown on this watch is just wonderful. And speaking about the crown, let's do a little bit of testing. This is a screw down crown, and as I told you, it feels wonderful. Screwing it out and screwing it back in catches the threading, no problem. Very easy thing to use. You know, it's almost a shame it's a quartz watch without a date, so you get to use this crown only like once or twice a year, right? So let's check the alignment of hands. By the way, the ratio is very slow, as you can see. It feels really good. Now let's set on exactly 6. By the way, I have stopped seconds hand on right on the 60 by accident. Nice. Anyway, the alignment is perfect, and also while we are looking up close at this watch, speaking about quality control, let's take a better look. And good news are that I haven't found any imperfections underneath the sapphire crystal either. No dust, nothing, it's clean. Everything seems very good. Now let me show you the Lume I have just charged these two watches. You all know Adidas Dive always has a good Lume, so that's why I'm showing you this Adidas Dive. And another reason is that they both have, you know, this beige color indices and hands, and both have this green Lume. So it's basically the same. Lume on these two watches is basically the same. Lume is strong, it's even on it's the same intensity on hands and indices. It's actually decent. It's actually pretty good. It's the same as on this Adidas dive. And what do I mean by saying they both are beige? Let me turn on the lights real quick. Look, the indices and hands are beige, and usually with this coloration Lume is a little bit weaker, not as strong as if it was, you know, white, but it's still fairly decent, I would say. Can't really complain. Let's turn off lights once again. Yeah, Lume is fine on this watch. I don't like the bracelet, and I think this watch gains a lot more character with custom straps, especially vintage style straps like this one. I usually don't like this strap, but on certain watches like this one, I think it looks great. It adds to the character of this watch. By the way, if there is any strap that you are interested in, you can find it on my website, thomaswatchreviews.com. So yeah, let's play around with this watch. Let's see how much it changes on different straps. This is beef jerky styled strap, vintage strap as one of you called it. Anyway, vintage style strap looks great on this vintage style watch in my opinion, and it feels very comfortable, by the way. While this watch is on its original bracelet, I don't like how it looks like, I don't like how it feels like. But once I put this watch on something like this, it feels wonderful. It's actually nice. You know, it's not a heavy watch. Well, 57 grams is not super light, but it's not heavy either. And also the weight is spread out all across my wrist very evenly and nicely. You know, it doesn't have domed sapphire crystal which would make this watch top heavy or anything like that. It's actually surprisingly comfortable watch given its dimensions on a custom strap like this, and I like how it looks like. I really like how it looks like on a strap like this. This is PU leather strap, a vintage style imitation. I would say rather successful one as well, because I think it looks great on this watch, and also a very comfortable option, by the way. I'm actually surprised how well this watch feels like on these custom straps. It feels like completely different watch compared to its original bracelet. Completely different watch. Right now I like it. Right now it feels good, it looks good. Right now I actually like this thing. Green nylon strap. I think this green color fits this watch very well. It really looks good with those beige indices and hands. It's just very nice color combination. I don't know, I usually don't like beige indices and hands very much. I prefer white, honestly, but if you find nice color combination, it looks just so good. It looks just so good. Yeah, I really like what I see right now. And this bezel, man, this bezel makes this watch stand out. Looks so alive. I like it. You know, this bezel, just pay attention. It's nice. It's very nice. Tropical style silicone strap, also a green color as the previous strap. Also looks great. Different styling a little bit, still looking great, By the way, edges of this strap, if you pay attention, these edges of this strap kind of work together nicely with this bezel, in my opinion. I don't know, some kind of design continuation, you could say, perhaps. Or maybe I'm just imagining things, I don't know. I think it looks fine. This is elastic sporty strap, and I think design wise it fits the character of this watch very well. And in general, I just like bright gray color straps. In general, I think it looks great, especially on such vintage style, pilot style watch. Yeah, take a good look, let's not rush. It looks good, you know, it looks good. I think it looks good, this thing. I'm kind of surprised, but you know, the more straps I change on this watch, the more I'm starting to like this watch. This is the same strap as before, just different color. Also green color, I think looks great on this watch. What do you guys think? I think it looks wonderful. Probably not my first option for this watch, but definitely not the last one either. I think, you know what, I'm really surprised. This watch is quite a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm actually liking it. For the ending of this video, let's put this watch back on the strap that I would actually wear this watch on this beef jerky styled strap. So I think this watch on custom straps is simply wonderful. You know, let me be honest with you, once I took this watch out of the box with this original bracelet, which is okay by the way, especially given the price point, I was just not impressed. I was just not impressed no matter what, and I postponed making this video for quite a while, but I eventually went over myself and forced myself to, you know, turn on the camera, let's get it done, you know. So in the beginning of the video, I probably don't sound very excited, but as I go through the video and explore this watch a little bit more and try it on custom straps, I completely changed, you know. I started liking this watch quite a bit, and right now I'm looking at this watch and I'm like, you know what, this thing is actually nice. On a bracelet, no, completely no, big no. I don't like the bracelet, I don't like how it looks like on a bracelet, but put this watch on something like this and this watch is completely transformed. I actually like it right now. It feels nice. It actually feels surprisingly nice. It no longer feels too long on my wrist. It doesn't feel heavy or anything. This is awesome. And you know what, let's play a little bit with the light. Let's give you several different shots, and by the way, at the very end of the video, I'm also gonna show you how this watch looks like outside, as always. So let's play a little bit with the light. And I don't know about properties of this sapphire crystal, does it have anti-reflective coating or not, but because it's flat, it actually looks pretty good. It has rather decent clarity as for a sapphire crystal, I must say. I mean, look at this thing. It looks rather good. And you know what, let's touch very important subject. This watch, after applying discount codes, was 42 euros. And yes, AliExpress, thank you for paying for this watch, but I mean, I'm speaking about the value proposition. Sapphire crystal, sweeping quartz seconds hand, you know, beautiful design on custom straps, plenty of water resistance. You know, it's a very tough watch. It's a very tough watch, and as you can see, it's actually properly well built. It doesn't have any quality control problems. I mean, for around 42 euros after applying discount codes, this is a great buy. This is a great buy. I wouldn't recommend this watch if you have any smaller wrist than I do, but if you have the same size wrist as I do or bigger, this watch is gonna look great on you. And about this crown, no, if look, let me show you something. If you wear watches like this, well, I don't know, I don't feel it. This crown is so nicely rounded up and it has zero sharpness. So even if you wear this watch like this, you're probably gonna be fine. I don't know. But if you wear a watch like this over the wrist bone, you're definitely gonna be fine. It's just fine. So overall conclusions about this watch, only positive. You know, 42 euros with sapphire crystal and this movement and plenty of water resistance and such a cool look on a cool strap like this. Yeah, it's thick, but I would say it's part of the character with this watch. You know, it couldn't have such a big crown if it was any slimmer. So I think Steelflier, or Steel Dive should I say, did a great job on this watch. You know, I'm actually surprised. You know, it's actually a nice watch. It's a nice watch, especially for 42 euros. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.